One of those students is here tonight, and that's Paula. Paula was our first place $500 winner. Paula is what I would call a social entrepreneur. She has a business idea that is for a for-profit business, but it also has the very important goal of also having a benefit in a social impact and a positive impact on the environment as well. So I'm going to turn it over to Paula, and she is going to present to you her business idea for the Whoop House.
Imagine a tornado strikes your city. You survive, but everything you own is destroyed. You have no home, no car, no clothes. What do? Where do you sleep? This is something millions of people go through when they least expect it. About 150 major natural disasters affected millions of people worldwide in 2015. Great examples for this are the most recent earthquakes in Ecuador and Japan. According to Ecuador's Risk Management Office, 25,000 people are out of shelters right now. And the president announced that the rebuilding of the affected areas will take years and cost millions of dollars. Or right here at home. Last month, nearly 5,000 homes in Louisiana were damaged after heavy flooding left people homeless. So the lack of temporary housing is not only a problem with natural disasters, but for the homeless as well. Architects have proposed a variety of ingenious shelters, but not only these untested solutions are expensive, but their exotic forms are usually ill-suited for local conditions. That's why such shelters have been rejected by users. Emergency housing sounds compelling, but it almost never works. My name is Paula Velasco, and here's my solution. The Whoop House is structured with 3 layers of materials that are 100% biodegradable and recyclable. With only these 3 materials, we can create a model and configure space. The first material of the model is mycelium. Mycelium forms a structural foundation and nutrient delivery of mushrooms. This material is thought to be on the outside of the structure because it provides protection to the environment and creates sustainable design solutions. The second material is bamboo. Since its stems are very strong, for years now, bamboo has been used for construction, the manufacture of furniture, and flooring. Here, bamboo is going to give rigidity to the structure. And the third and final material is cardboard. Cardboard is a sustainable material that works as an insulator to provide warmth or cooling for different climates. Since mushrooms, bamboo, and cardboard are recyclable and biodegradable, the creation and assembly of the model is going to be much less expensive than the process of making bricks. Here's a representation of the size and the appearance of the model. The mycelium mix is going to be in the outside to provide protection to the environment. The bamboo is cut in half so the structure can be narrow. And finally, the cardboard, because it protects the bamboo and so we can have the vertical connections. Regardless of the cost, extreme weather events now cost the United States more than $80 billion per year. My target market is private investors that want patent of the material, government agencies like FEMA, non-government associations like the Red Cross, UNICEF, and any other organization that helps with natural disasters. And once we prove that the Whoop House is suitable and viable, we want to make it a temporary material for future constructions of all types using only green technology. We have been using the same material of constructions for 2 centuries. It's time for a change. Natural disasters happen every day, and with climate change, we need to be prepared. Because a shelter can protect you from the sun, wind, rain, or hot, cold temperatures. But most importantly, it can give you a feeling of well-being. It can help you maintain your will to survive. Like architect Mace Van der Rohe said when he was working in the Loop of Chicago, give me a model and I will give you a world. Thank you.
So does anybody have any questions either for me or for Paula?
How did the name come about?
Actually, I work as a nanny. So while I was working, I was thinking of an idea, and I told them the idea to the kids. And I was like, what do you think? What name should I? They were like, what about Whoop House? So I know I have like a weird name, but.
The smart kids. Get your attention.
So have you built a model yet?
No.
So how did you come up with the idea for the materials, which materials then?
Well, the mycelium for the mushrooms, I actually went to a museum in Spain, and I saw an exhibition where they were using this material in San Francisco. I did my research, so I know that there's well, My Coworks is a company that is already using this material for furniture and for flooring, so, and for bricks. So I thought I was thinking about that material. And the bamboo, my parents are architects, so since forever I know that bamboo is like a very strong material for construction. And the cardboard came at the end because since it's like a shelter for whatever country that we don't know what the temperature is, we needed like a material that will give either heat or cold for the people. So when I didn't think about the idea until Patty told me about the competition, because I was going to do it for the extra points. And then I was like, what can I do? And I was like, I've always been worried about the homeless people, but I was like, how can I help them in the long term? So I just thought of the three materials, putting them together, and with it, I said, it's a model, so you can do whatever you want with it. So it doesn't. I didn't do for example, a design of a little house, because we don't know how this model can help benefit different people from different countries. So it could be the design that you want.
Are we going to have your presentation on that website then? Will you be putting that out, or could we get a version of it out there? That would be really kind of great. And
Jill, did you hear that?
So I'm just curious, what is the next step? I mean, is there another competition, or do you seek funding, or what? Is there a next step?
Well, I was going to work with Jared, right? And my plan is to work with Jared in the business incubator during the summer to do more research and to take this
So Paula's next step will be to do feasibility analysis. She'll start working on doing modeling and doing some market research. That'll be her next step. The competition wasn't a full business plan competition because most of our students are freshmen and sophomores, and we didn't want to require a full business plan. We wanted really to focus on entrepreneurial thinking and creativity and creative problem solving. So for those students that have a great idea that want to advance it, the next step for them will be to work with some of the experts in the community that can help them with developing the idea further. And then once you go through feasibility and so forth, that's at the point where you want to start kind of looking into investors and really taking it forward.
I would imagine at that point you'd also want to look at some intellectual property
Yes.
safeguards.
Yes.
Because if this is something that is novel, it can be easily copied, and you're going to want to get in on the front end to get protection for that.
Yeah, absolutely. One of our judges was a patent lawyer, and so she
I
was
saw that.
one of our judges was a patent lawyer, and certainly the Small Business Development Center and the incubator and the tech hub will have experts available that can help with protecting the IP.
Let me give you a little advice too, Patty, on that. I'd suggest you contact Michael Schlesinger down at John Marshall Law School. They have a law clinic that we just worked with, and he has grant money available to help young entrepreneurs organize, put the business plan together, and some legal aspects on how to do that. So if you'd like, contact him. You can use my name.
Great.
His name is Michael Schlesinger. He's at the law clinic at John Marshall Law School, and very helpful on exactly this type of thing. She may not be quite far along on it, but I think you ought to, my suggestion, hook up with him. Rich can follow up with me as well, but I think it'd be a really good resource for you.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
So I want to ask you, I think this is fabulous. I think this is I can't say enough superlatives. I think this is great. So you offered this, like campus-wide, anybody could be in this?
Yes.
And this was totally voluntary? I mean, you said something about extra points, well, I'm not surprised at that. But it was really voluntary, anybody could just do this? It wasn't part of an assignment or anything?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's amazing what they'll do for a little extra credit. However, we wanted it to be open to everyone in the college. So, certainly those of us in business administration, we were able to talk about it with our students in our classes. But we really wanted to, and we tried very hard to get the word out to, digital media design, for example, and engineering, and I think we learned a lot doing it the first time, and we would, even try to promote it even further next time. This was really just a test for us.
Right, a pilot. So,
Exactly.
But it's a fabulous idea, and I think there might be other opportunities, partner opportunities, more money that you could get. It's great to have this starting, and then I'm sure you're just going to grow from here. It's really great. Thank you.
Yeah, so one of the outcomes, again, from Saturday, I was talking with Jim Ryan, and he said that and he mentioned this once before, entrepreneurialism is a personal interest of his, aside from Granger, and with one of his other colleagues, they're setting up small venture funds for this kind of activity for when you're really trying to start up ventures, and he wanted to connect us, so we're going to connect Patty Clark, and Jim Ryan wants to talk to him about that. So we'll, as we do these things, we're going to find more and more connections. We had Dean Tobias as a speaker.
Well, and you
He
have
connected.
the young
Yeah.
entrepreneur program
Sure.
that I brought.
Yeah,
Have you
there's
looked
that.
into that it started in a college in Massachusetts. And it's specifically designed for students to work on entrepreneurial things, and there is a whole program set up for that. And our Lake Zurich Chamber of Commerce was hosting it for quite some time, and I turned over all the materials to Dr.
Yeah.
Haney and Dr. Weber, because they were asking if we might be interested in getting involved in that.
Well, I think that's just another great example. I mean, there's also Lake Forest College that Patty's connected to, so you got that in. She'll be connected to the high schools and some of the things they're doing. We first want to build our own program, and she's doing that now, and you're seeing the first parts of it, really. So, great,
Good
thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.